Hi everybody, and welcome back to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice, and it's by user Deleted, Recovered, Throwaway, Why the Hell. My best guy friend just told me he's in love with me 2 days before my wedding. As the title says, I've been with my fiance for 3 years, engaged for a little over a year. My best friend and I have known each other since freshman year of college. We are all in our early 30s. This morning, I woke up to a long-ass text from my guy best friend that he had sent around 6 a.m. Basically, it was him pouring his heart out. He said he's been in love with me for years, but always hoped I'd end up breaking with my fiance and finally noticing him. He asked me to call off the wedding and run away with him. Huh? It said, I needed to tell you before it was too late. I just feel gross and sad. I have no feelings for him beyond platonic love. I've drafted a response and deleted it over and over. I haven't even told my fiance. I don't want him to have to worry about me so soon to our wedding. I know I need to, but I don't know what to do or how to phrase it. What's worse is that he's become my fiance's friend too. I'm also pretty pissed that my friend chose such an unfortunate time to cause me such distress. There were so many times over the years he could have just bucked up and told me how he felt. But waiting until right before I'm married? Like I would just cancel my wedding and leave my fiance because of a damn text? I want to tell him to not come to the wedding. I can't trust that he wouldn't try to pull something. I don't even know if I want to talk to him again, but the thought of losing my best friend is breaking my heart. Hell, the thought of not having him at my wedding is really painful. He's put me in an uncomfortable, impossible situation. I wish it wasn't on me to deal with his feelings for him. I wish he had either stopped being friends with me when he realized us ending up together would never happen or had told me a while ago. I don't want to kick him while he's down, but I need to make it clear that I have no feelings and the wedding is still on and I don't want him to attend. We have been friends for over a decade. I've been crying over this all day. I feel almost disgusted knowing that this whole time he had ulterior motives. How do I even go about dealing with this? I'm supposed to get married in under 48 hours. Well, OP, I think the key to all of this is in exactly your last paragraph. He had ulterior motives the whole time. He wasn't your friend. And in a quote-unquote 10-year friendship, he never had the stones to buck up and tell you how he felt. Then he just sends you a message because he just needed to tell you before it was too late. Dude, what the hell? I know this might sound harsh, but it's still my opinion. I have no sympathy for these nice guy dweebs who just throw these bombs at the last minute hoping for some kind of rom-com ending or something like that. Like, come on, man. You had 7 years to tell her how you felt and you never did it. It's on you. OP, you don't need to worry about kicking him when he's down or anything like that. It's all on him. Your only response should be, thank you for letting me know you are not welcomed at the wedding anymore. And of course, you need to show the message to your fiance right away, because he also became friends with your fiance, maybe in some weird attempt to break you guys up by getting some information or something. I don't know, with cowards like these, you can never be sure. And what do you guys think? What is your opinion on this whole thing? What should OP do? Let me know in the comments section, and now let's move on to the community comments to see what they said. Virtual Choir Boy says, tell your fiance immediately. At a minimum, they can help you craft the replies to this, idiot. I'd start the conversation by saying, we may have to tell idiot that he can't come to the wedding. Even worse, we may have to cut him out of our lives entirely. Then show him the text. As for the idiot, perhaps something along these lines. You've put me in a difficult position because I absolutely do not share the same feelings you have. You've been a close friend, but I've never seen you as anything more than a platonic friend. I've shown your text to fiance, and we both agree that it would be best for you not to attend the wedding. I will not be canceling the wedding and I will not be running away with you. Please do not contact me in any way until after we return from our honeymoon. Fascination Street says, JFC, what an a-hole. He is a selfish jerk for laying this on you right before your wedding, and you need to tell him that. The text you send back to him needs to be short and sweet, and you need to cancel his invite to the wedding. And of course, you're going to have to let people know that if he shows up, that he is to be escorted out immediately. And OP responds, yeah, I just can't believe he was hoping my relationship wouldn't work out. If my fiance and I broke up, I would have been beyond devastated. There wouldn't be room for anyone else, let alone him. Chicken Fight Your Mom says, this is the ultimate nice guy TM move. He could have asked you out a decade ago or 5 years ago. Instead, he decided to pine away, hoping that you'd notice what a great guy he is. Now he intends to blow up your wedding because he can't bear that another man will have what is rightfully his. Tell your fiance immediately. Then you both need to call this guy together and officially uninvite him from the wedding. Then you both need to tell your friends what he did so this guy can't lie and get sympathy. You don't need to share the text with your friends, but you and fiance should compose and send a joint email that simply states, Joe decided to disrespect our friendship and the relationship OP and fiance have. Joe is no longer invited to our wedding. We will no longer be socializing with Joe. We are informing you so you can understand and respect our wishes. If you haven't already, I recommend hiring an off-duty cop as security for your wedding. I used to be a wedding planner and I've seen situations where people crash the ceremony or reception in some weird grand gesture to proclaim their love. It always ends badly. Give the security guard a photo of Joe and tell him he's banned. Additional information from OP's comments. I just feel so gross. 10 years of friendship for nothing. It all feels like a lie. The worst part is that my fiance was suspicious at first, so my best friend started hanging out with him alone without me. They became good friends on their own. Sad face. OP's edit. I'll be showing the text to my fiance after he gets home from his brothers. I won't send anything until he's here with me. Alright, well, the community agree the best friend, who is not a friend, totally sucks and he should be banned from the wedding, and OP needs to tell the fiance. So let's move on with the update to see what OP did and how this story ends. Hi everyone, my husband, I love being able to say that now, and I got back from our honeymoon yesterday. I turned on my phone and opened the Reddit app and it was still signed into this account, so I had an oh yeah moment and figured I'd post an update. So a lot of people here really helped validate the icky mess of feelings I was having. Thank you for that. Posting here really helped me put my thoughts into words. So that night, my fiance got home from his brothers. I let him sit down and then I showed him the text. He read it and I watched his eyes get bigger and his expression angrier. Of course, I started apologizing like an idiot and he told me I didn't owe him an apology for anything. We talked and he told me he figured the guy had a crush but kept it respectful. And really, he had. We were close, but beyond a side hug during greetings and goodbyes, there was no physicality. I even let him read out past messages just to see that there was no emotional affair or me leading him on. I never even vented about my fiance when we would have arguments because I knew better than to do that. I'd talk to my mom. Hello? So my fiance asked me what I wanted to do, and I said that while it did sadden me, I didn't want him at our wedding. I was afraid that he would try some nonsense. We typed up a very brief message. It said, "Friend, I'm sorry that you mistook my friendship for something more. The wedding is going to happen and it'd be best if you didn't attend. To be clear, I let fiance read your message to me and he stands by my decision to uninvite you." We wanted to make it clear that it was me who wanted him not to come, not just my fiance. Knowing him, he'd probably claim that my fiance forced me to uninvite him. He read the message and left it unread for a while. I honestly started getting pretty anxious over it, and my fiance asked if I wanted to block him. Part of me wanted to, and part of me wanted to hear him out. And when he finally responded, the text was so long that I had to click on it to read it. It was horrible. He called me a liar for leading him on for over a decade, then he hoped my fiance left me and that we were infertile. It was just horrible thing after horrible thing and I started crying. My fiance took my phone into the other room while I sobbed. I think he called him, but I'm not sure. What I do know is after about an hour, he came back in, handed me my phone back and told me that my friend was now blocked on everything, would not be attending, and the best man and maid of honor knew of the situation and would handle it for me. It was like a weight lifted off my shoulders, honestly. After reading that message, I really wasn't so sad that my friend wouldn't be attending anymore. And our wedding effing rocked. We had the time of our lives, surrounded by people who loved us and we loved them. It still feels like a dream, to be honest. And if my friend tried to show up, I never heard anything of it. I guess that's the update. It's not nearly as dramatic and crazy as what people hoped for, I feel, but I'm happy. Well, OP, it doesn't have to be an overly dramatic update for it to be a good one. This one is a great update, because you got rid of the toxic nice guy of your life, and now you're married to the man that you love, and now you guys can move on with your life. So congratulations on getting married, by the way. Now, usually I do not read comments from updates because, honestly, what's the point? But in this case, I do want to read two of them. First, the most downvoted post of the update comments because it defends the nice guy attitude and I just thought it was hilarious. And the second one is one that stood out particularly to OP. So let's finish off this first story with that. Rand Chick says, "This is ridiculous. You were not married when the friend sent you the text. He decided to shoot his shot at the last moment before you were off the market in case the two of you realized you should be together. Fine. If you didn't feel the same, you could have just turned him down. It shouldn't have ended the friendship nor stopped him from coming to the wedding. Loving someone isn't some crime. It wasn't your fiance's business at all, and no one, including the friend, needed to apologize for anything. He tried and failed. You could have just shrugged it off instead of being a mean drama queen. You couldn't even protect your friend as a last gesture of friendship. You exposed him and dumped him." Now, I don't know if Rand Chick really meant this or she was just trolling, but it was hilarious. And now the final comment that I wanted to show you guys was removed by a moderator, but I was able to recover it. So someone says, "Your husband is gaslighting and abusing you. Now he has you convinced that a man that loves you is the bad guy. This is a giant red flag. Run! Maybe you can get your friend back. Wish you all the best and hope you get out of this effed up spot." And OP responded, "Jason, is that you?" But Jason never replied, or maybe not Jason never replied. What do you guys think? Is that Jason or not? So we'll leave this story at that, and now we'll move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Petty Revenge, and it's by user FrostyToes99. About 5 years ago, my company brought in an individual to see if my position was no longer needed. I passed with flying colors. Not to give too much information away, I was hired at an organization with a job title of basically helper. Well, for someone who is supposed to just be helping, I had a ridiculous amount of work. Almost all of my co-workers were huge technologically illiterate boomers, so I actually sort of thrived in this as a very useful person. For example, one guy would spend half his day copying items and passing them into another program we use. He didn't even use Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V. He would right-click, then copy, then go into the files menu or something and insert copied items from clipboard. He was so proud of himself when he showed me because, don't worry, you won't have to retype everything. I wrote a program to do this automatically, but did not tell him, so I would just run it occasionally as part of my responsibilities. Anyway, I did a lot of stuff like this. I'd estimate I saved about 15 hours of work every day on top of the 8.5 hours I did too. But then, insert Sergeant F face. This wasn't the military, but I just liked to call him that. We are having a team meeting when he shows up. White hair, combed okayish, a scrunched face, glasses. He just sort of showed up one day and took notes during our morning meeting. At one point, someone brought up the name of one of our customers. Did I say, "Oh, is that the 300-pound guy with a beard?" Sort of a joke because I mostly do backend stuff. There was a guy like this I recently did some entrance stuff for. But I was wrong and my boss said, "No, it's blah blah, some other person." Okay, then we talked about that person a bit. Fast forward about a week, and this Sergeant F face is a complete effing douchebag to me. I don't know why. He will ignore me during group conversations and literally sometimes scoff at me. Who actually scoffs at people, huh? I was having a really rough week looking for some extremely important files. People were yelling all day, I was exasperated. Too much to do and I was having anxiety attacks at home in the middle of the night. But it was Friday, so I was pulling through. As I looked for this file, I ended up deep in our file structure, and the search returned a personal folder structure within one of the drives. I clicked out of curiosity, and there it was, Sergeant F. Face Notes. I opened it, and there was a whole section about me. This guy basically goes from location to location getting people fired to save the CEO's money, and he was working on me now. I scrolled through his notes, and at the very top I saw, OP thought a 4'10" 24-year-old female patient was a 300-pound bearded man, clearly atrocious at attention to detail. That's just one example of how completely effed up his comments were. So, in combination with my job, which I generally liked and enjoyed helping people, knowing I wasn't getting paid enough for my effort, this horrible week I had, and Sergeant F Face's comments, I said F this and set up 3 email configurations. 1. To my boss, letting him know I will be taking 2 weeks of vacation time, to be sent at 10 p.m. tonight. 2. To the company, letting them know I will not be present for 2 weeks, so whatever work they currently need me to do, they will need to do it themselves, to be sent Monday morning at 4 a.m. 3. For any emails that came in, I sent an auto response that said I will be out for an unknown amount of time. For any routine or emergency or even occasional items, it is imperative you reached out to Sergeant F Face at XXX number for assistance. Then I turned off every automated task I had ever set up. Later, I swung by FF's temporary office and said, I think I found a way to make your job easier. He didn't even really turn his head to look at me, but just raised one eyebrow. Then I left. I actually got multiple calls on Monday morning I didn't answer. It didn't last long apparently, but I stayed strong and didn't respond to anything. On Wednesday, I had a little anxiety about it, but stayed as strong as I could. I thought about the tasks that needed a 2-day turnaround. There's no way some of the guys were keeping up with their normal duties. Guaranteed at least 2 people were no longer doing their normal jobs just to keep up with my automated tasks. Then I got a long email to my personal account, I guess from my resume or when I interviewed, from my boss on Thursday night of the first week. It went something like this. OP, I know you're a smart person and probably figured out what the company had us doing. I would say it's very important you call me, but that probably isn't going to work, I see. I've talked with Sergeant F Face, boss, and he will be leaving our location. I explained our progress meetings seemed to be going in the wrong direction, but that you are one of the most valuable employees here. I am sure you are probably looking at other jobs at this point, or maybe you have even started one. I hope not. If you could please reach back to me, I would like to offer you a raise. It has become very apparent how useful you are around here. I hear about it every day, believe me. So I came back on Monday with a $10,000 raise and Sergeant F Face out of my face. My boss apologized again in person and said he didn't get a say in it. I think it's a little weird he could have a say after I left, but not before, but I sorta get it. Well done, OP, you were very valuable and finally they saw it and gave you the according raise for it. Thank you so much for sharing, all the best. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really did enjoy reading them to you. So if you did, then don't be shy and go ahead and give the video a like. And don't forget to subscribe or even share this video with people that you might think will enjoy my storytelling. Also, if you have the time, go down to the video description and check out all the links I have for you, from our Discord community to my channel merch. And finally, I'd like to say thank you for watching. It really means a lot to me that you enjoy my videos. And having said all that, I'll see you guys in the next video.